Happy Wednesday, everybody. So I'm just going to go through the COT report that I sent out on Sunday. Going to have a look at how things have played out so far, and see if there's still anything left that we think might be playing out for this week. So, been a bit of a funny week to be honest. Yesterday, the CPI news did send pairs just flying very quickly, and then today we've seen quite a choppy, consolidating kind of market, or pairs are just like steadily rising, I would say, not really moving with much intent or anything like that. So, yeah, let's have a little look through then. So, I'll try and keep it as short as possible. So, you can see I sent this out on Sunday, so this is what we're expecting for then. So, we've got bullish AJ, Euro GBP, EJ, NZD USD CAD, USD CHF UJ, and bearish we've got GA, GN, and GU. So, zoom in again on these. So, AJ is the first one. So, at the time of doing it, the majority of retail traders were short. So, what we can see is we did see a little push down, sorry, a gap at the open. The dotted line, as ever, is just where we were when I was doing the markups. This is the H4 chart, and the left is going to be the daily chart. But you can see the gap, the market gapped, and this is where we opened. Started to push up, but then Tuesday gave this reversal, which would have been around the CPI news. I think we saw this starting to drop off. So it has dropped. This was the key level that we had marked up for, and I was saying if it comes down to this key level, pay attention. If it holds here, it could give quite a nice reversal, but what we're seeing is it is still dropping below. So I'd be quite wary of that. I think at this stage we could be seeing this kind of move into this level, but we need to kind of see how it plays out. But by now, we're probably more bearish, to be honest. So we could see little tiny climbs back up and then drop off for a few days. So personally, I probably wouldn't really have a bias on this pair for the rest of this week, and just trade what you actually see come up and in line with the confirmations and stuff. So Euro GBP, we had as bullish as well. So what you can see is we opened and we pushed up into that weekly level and it failed to break above it. And then ever since then it's just dropped off. I do think we could still be seeing some kind of reversal in and around this level here. So again, just be patient. I think yeah, EG. I was looking for a setup on today on this, and it just hasn't given the entry just yet. So yeah, this could give entries in and around these levels still. So keep an eye on that one. EJ, let's see what this one's done. Again, similar story really. So it's pushed up into that level, did give the retest, and then it's just failed to break above that, and it's just dropped off. And again, it looks like it's going to head a little bit lower before we see that turn around. So it's not really, I would say, a valid buy setup anymore at this moment in time, until you see confirmations of reversals. So NJ, again, and this is all coming from pretty much JPY's being stronger than everybody expected over these last couple of days. So we did see market open. Uh, it did do quite a big gap, pushed up again into that weekly level and just failed to break through. And then it's dropped off from there and it's broke through this key level. So again, I would just be probably careful about looking for buys on that. Again, you probably could catch some, but we're probably going to be starting to see a little bit more bearish action. Is my probably my bias at the moment. USD CAD. So we're looking for bullish again on these, and this pretty much did what we said. So this, I said we were here, probably going to see a drop down into this level, and then move from there. And I was looking around the lunchtime yesterday. I managed to have a quick look yesterday lunchtime, and it was just unfortunate. I couldn't take the trade because there was USD news at 1:30, which stopped me from entering the trade. And you can see that it just absolutely blasted off yesterday at 1:30 with the CPI. And anybody who tells you that you can trade the news, pretty much lying to you really, because unless you've got a huge stop, the brokers or the prop firms increase the spreads that much that if you've got a stop, say you've entered, I don't know, some price action here, you've got a 20 pip stop. I've seen spreads go to about 40 pips. So you've got to be really, really careful. And some prop firms also don't let you enter trades. I think it's like 15 minutes before or something like that. But I tend to try and make sure that I'm not in trades or entering them that close to them as well. So just be mindful of that. But it has played out how we expected, pretty much down, and then it's coming up to this top of this trend line, which you can see now is starting to reject from. So it'll be interesting to see if that does just drop off a little bit now. USD CHF, let's see what we had for this. Again, similar story. Had this dropping down to this level, and then we've got it like making its way hopefully higher, but it looks like it's just getting a bit stuck here at this level, so we could see a little drop off. But the important thing is, again, is it's dropped down into this level, held here where we suspected, and then it has given that massive push up. And in terms of pips, that's 116 pips there from that low. And again, I'm not saying you could have caught it because of the news, but if you had a wide stop, if you're hoping to swing this for a couple of days, and you'd seen something, for example, a candle before, and you've got like a fairly decent stop, 70 pips or something, clearing this weekly level, you probably would have been okay being stuck in, still being in that trade. So you'd at least be at a 1-to-1 trade on that, if not a bit more. Sorry, yeah, it's like 1 to 1.5. So there are opportunities there, but I'm just saying if you're intraday trading with tight stops at 20 pips or so, be careful because the spread will widen. Um, UJ next. Let's just put that on. UJ again had pushing down it just into this blue level here. It hasn't quite made it, it just fell a little bit shy of it, but again gave nice entries to take up, and it hasn't quite managed to break above this. So this is that key level. It's just failed to close confidently, I would say, above that. Well, it did there, but then the next day. So it did close above on the daily. So it could continue up into that weekly. But again, these have pretty much played out, these last three, with the USD pairs, I would say. So next we've got GA. GA is just absolutely blasted off. And again, we've seen a really strong pound this week. So that was a little bit unexpected, I think. Um, I would think we were hoping to hold at this level, but you can see that it's just been absolutely flying. So I'd just be approaching with caution. It has just given an entry on a 15-minute for a sell today, which you could take from here, but if it's going to come, wherever it's going to come to, I'm not too sure on that. So just be careful looking for sells on that. And the same with GN. Obviously, they're going to trend the same way. Hopefully, this stop people getting in, because once it blasted through this level and you saw it retest on the other side, that's kind of a sign to you to say, um, yeah, it's possibly not lining up with what we suspected. With GA, that's the same. It just blasted straight through it. So our bias in terms of sales, you've got to be careful with that. This one, GU, again, this was another one that news just shifted, and it was a lovely, lovely entry. So the for those trading our strategies, this gave a combined setup for both strategies together, which always gives a really nice entry. And this was it. So it pushed up into this level. Just fell shy of where we thought on the COT. But again, I always say with the COT, I'm doing these like rough areas to pay attention to where they might come to. So if you saw that there was something here, then you would have spotted what we spotted there yesterday. EU was exactly the same as well yesterday. Perfect entry on that. So uh, that was the setup for yesterday on GU. It came up into this and dropped pretty much straight down to this level. I think we could see legs for it to drop even lower, but we just got to be a little bit mindful that could be seeing head and shoulders here with your left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So you could see a couple of days of rise up to this level now. So yeah, just be careful looking for sells there on that still, okay? So, and that's it, guys, for this week. So nice and short. Pretty much everything's already played out, especially on the USD pairs. I think the only one we said maybe you could still look for would be EG and EJ. But they haven't really, I would say, with the bias. The bias is kind of out of the window. I'm just more looking at this in terms of intraday trades, what we could potentially expect. But I think what we'll see with EJ is probably bit of a consolidation through Asia, push up, and hopefully drop off then. So we could look for some sells, I would say, on EJ rather than the buys now. Um, but you could potentially catch those intraday counter trend reversals on that. So, hope that's been helpful anyway. If you've got any questions as ever, please reach out to us and one of us will get back to you.